What's going on, guys? This is Miasin, and I actually decided to update my FLUNDEREEZE deck profile because I felt like there were a few flaws with it that I couldn't really move on with because, I don't know, I just look at my deck list and I was like, I can do so much better than that, and I feel like I managed to, yeah, to do it. So before you start, friendly reminder to like and subscribe. Please, if we can get this video to 1,000 likes, would actually mean a lot because I could be making testing videos with this deck against the meta. So against decks that currently exist, maybe like Sky Striker, Salamangreat, well, Dragon Link, I was gonna say that as well, even though people are not gonna play the deck anymore. Drytron, all those decks. So if you want to see that, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and also like and subscribe would motivate me a lot. And yeah, let's jump right into the deck profile. So I'm still playing 2 Empen. I don't believe the Snow or the other card, whatever, the other big tribute FLUNDEREEZE should be played. That card doesn't bring anything to the deck that the deck cannot already do. It's kind of like an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno in a way, well, Book of Eclipse, one-sided, but you don't really need it because even the City of Dreams already kind of does that, the Book of Eclipse effect, and the Empen generates you a lot of card advantage. So even in dead matchups, it's still really good because it gets you the City of Dreams, which is the interruption anyways, and also this is a floodgate on the field, so it's pretty nasty. If you can summon this going first against like Salamangreat, Sky Striker, all the Relink monsters cannot trigger their effects at all, which is pretty big. Anyways, 1 token and then 1 Extrich. These 2 cards are not great at all. They kind of have no effect unless you either use a spell card, so it goes to the graveyard. You're going second, for example, with Ostrich, so you can banish their card and then normal summon it, get an extra normal summon. Or for the token, if you have the field spell, it's pretty good. Otherwise, it's usually bad, or I guess really late game. But yeah, 3 Ash and then 3 DD Crow. So Ash is the most applicable. I didn't really want to play Silver Bullets, and DD Crow is really cool because it's also, it's searchable so easy, it's ridiculous. Rabina can search it, and even freaking Disciple of Nadir Servant, can search DD Crow. You might be wondering why, how? Well, it's because of Shareg the Ominous Omen. You can Foolish for that, from the extra deck to the grave, and then search a Winged Beast, Beast Warrior, Beast that is a level equal or lower, I think, than the amount of BBWs in your banished. So if you have 1 Winged Beast in your banish, you can search a level 1 Winged Beast, DD Crow, and it's really easy because all the FLUNDEREEZE monsters, they always get banished when they leave the field instead of being sent to the graveyard, well, except for the tribute summon guys. So DD Crow is super easy to search. You can actually search 2 of this literally on your opponent's turn, so if you want me to make updated combo videos, I'll also do that, so also let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, 1 Ryza and then 1 Ecclesia, obviously because I'm playing 3 Nadir Servant. Ryza is actually the best Monarch, I want to say, for this deck. The other ones can't really make sense because you wouldn't be able to search them, I think. This is the only Winged Beast that is level 7 or higher. So the Eaglin can easily get access to it, and it was between that, Apex Avion, and Dark Simorgh, which are the cards over there. It just didn't really make too much sense to play them because Ryza could interrupt your opponent like crazy, make them lose like 3 cards potentially, whereas Apex Avion is like a 1-for-1, Dark Simorgh, if your opponent doesn't really play back row, it does nothing. So therefore, I thought that Ryza would probably be the best one. If you're going second, you can Ryza on so many cards your opponent controls, so it breaks boards, and going first, it's a huge interruption because you can tribute summon this on your opponent's turn. This deck is really reminiscent to Monarch, how they used to function back in the days, and also True Draco, I guess you want to say, in a way. It's just that you really do want to play an extra deck because it allows you to play so many good consistency cards, whereas if you choose not to play an extra deck, yeah, sure, you get to play Domain of the Monarchs and Monarchs Erupt. I just don't think it makes any sense, and Monarchs Erupt would counter your own cards because not everything that you summon is tribute summon, so yeah. Anyways, alright, Ecclesia and 3 Phantasme, like I said. Phantasme is extremely good. If you haven't watched my best hand traps of the format video, make sure you do, because I talk about Phantasme in detail and DD Crow and how these cards are much better than before. Phantasme, I feel like almost every single matchup, it's always playable. The card's insane. You can even resolve it on your own turn if your opponent goes IP Masquerena into Unicorn, and that has another really neat effect on the field where you can actually negate and destroy the activation of any card or effect that would try to target a monster on your field. So if you get Veilered or Impermed on the Rabina, Eaglin, and stuff stuff while you have Phantasma on the field, you can actually play through it. So Phantasma isn't just a consistency card and a body on field, it's so much more than that. And also you can tribute summon for this, so yeah, I don't think it's ever gonna come up, but yeah, you can. It won me a game in a YCS, come on. Anyways, 1 Tactic Talents. Yeah, I didn't want to play too many. I didn't want to play 3 Duality. I felt like 2 Duality, 1 Tactic was actually perfect. And I stay by what I just said right now. I think this is actually much more logical, because if you draw too many dualities, it becomes bricky, whereas this is like just the perfect balance, so you can never draw too many Tactic Talents, and yeah, not draw too many dualities instead. Prosperity, on the other hand, is overpowered, because you can banish 6, and it's almost a guarantee that you get a starter. So if you don't have Robina, you might get access to it, or if you had like a level 1 monster, even freaking DD Crow. If you draw into the field spell or terraforming, all of a sudden your engine, you can actually start it. So really, really nice. And the Dear Servant, I already explained why this card is good, but as you can clearly see from my extra deck, I actually have so many targets. I have the Titanic Lad, which doesn't really come up with the Nadir Servant, but with the punishment instead. Just I might as well have it. I have the Fossil Warrior Skull Knight, Double Entis, Windpegasus at Ignister, and I also have Baron Blossom and Shrek the Ominous Omen. So this is kind of like a mulligan, draw 1 and then put back 1, so in case you have like a pretty bad card in your hand, well, you can kind of unbreak with it. And the other cards are pretty self-explanatory, and I already explained Shrek. But yeah, Nadir Servant is really, really good. Even if you draw Nadir Servant plus Ecclesia, it's actually not a bad thing. I'll show this in my combo video again, but it is not unplayable whatsoever. So yeah. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I explained all of the spell cards here. Now, Terraforming and the 3 Flundereeze on the Mysterious Map. This card's really, really insane. You can reveal a level 1 winged Flundereeze monster in your hand, sorry. If you do banish 1 Flundereeze card with a different name, so you can't just do it with DD Crow. But if you normal summon DD Crow, it will still trigger the effect of the Flundereeze to recycle back from the banish to the hand. Because all you have to do is like summon a winged beast in order to, I think, trigger the effect. If I recall correctly. But yeah. Anyways, this, you would be able to banish a Flundereeze card and immediately normal summon it, and obviously all of their effects would trigger to recycle them back to the hand, and then you still have your normal summon, so you can still play from there, and you can chain block, so your Robina is in Chainlink 1, and then the effect to recycle back from banish to hand is in Chainlink 2, so even if your opponent has Ash, it might just do absolutely less than nothing. And yeah, obviously we're playing 3 Punishment and 3 Flundereeze in the City of Dreams. This card is only usable during the main phase, so if you want to beat this deck, you have to Twin Twister on draw phase or standby phase. Keep that in mind. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, I don't really have a lot of cards to cover because I already talked about most of them, which are Punishment and Nadir Servant targets. Anyways, we do have the Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. I'm never going to pronounce the full name of this card ever again, just Zeus is enough, alright? Downward Magician, because we have a couple of rank 1 Xyz monsters. Sylvan Princess Sprite, Lyrilusk Recital Starling. This card can search a level 1 winged beast from your deck to your hand. So Robina, Eaglin, DD Crow. And then we have Kiki Nagashi Fucho. Drytron plays this card. So it's unaffected by card effects, and once per turn by detaching 2 materials, it cannot be destroyed by battle either, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card, so you rely on this in order to go into Downward and then into Zeus, which is really good because it's unaffected by card effects, so it's kind of reminiscent of Fortune Tune. And then we have Assembled Nightingale, which can attack directly, and finally Ensemble Robin, which interrupts your opponent like crazy. Now you might be thinking, well, you can't really use the you can't really Xyz summon the turn use literally any of the Flundereeze effects because they lock you out of no extra deck for the rest of the turn. Well, the thing is, yeah, sure, that's true. Or does it say for the rest of the turn or the turn use? Yeah, okay, you can't special summon the turn you activate either of these effects. It's not just you can't special summon from the extra deck. It's just you can't special summon at all. So it's actually even worse. But the cool thing about the Xyz monsters is that sometimes you have extras like surplus Flundereeze on just sitting there on your opponent's turn because you would just get like interrupted, or you just get hit by Mask of Restrict, for example. But the thing is, you don't have to scoop there. Even Zombie World and stuff like that, yeah, sure, you have 2 level 1 monsters, but if you can survive a little bit, maybe with your trap cards, with your hand traps, well, next turn you still have those 2 level 1s, so you can start making the Xyz, clear your opponent's board, so you can just not really lose the Mask of Restrict, and then you can keep playing from there. So yeah, definitely, again, something to keep into consideration. But anyways, for the idea section, not really a side deck, really just an idea section. Apex, Avion, and Dark Samorg, I kind of already talked about them. Dimension Shifter with D-Fisher and Macrocosmos, actually used to main deck them. I don't really think they're worth playing in the main deck, because if this deck becomes way too popular in the format, everybody's gonna start playing it, and obviously D-Shifter and all those cards are complete garbage in the mirror match. They do absolutely less than nothing. It's really sad. And yeah, Windbearer Statue, Pot of Extravagance, if you want to play that instead of Pot of Prosperity. I do believe that Banishing 6 is key, though. It's really, really good. And yeah, Called by the Grave. Quiet Life is a good floodgate. Activate at the start of your main phase 1, you control no monster. If any player normal summons or set a monster, they can't special. And if a player special summons a monster, they can't normal summon. Really interesting. And yeah, FLUNDEREEZE and the Unknown Wind. I actually forgot to mention this card when I went through the main deck, but I actually cut it. I think it's not good because it actually inherently conflicts with the effect, the continuous effect, or the clauses of the FLUNDEREEZE, where they get banished instead of being sent to the grave, and this forces you to send the monsters to the grave as part of the summoning condition, so it only works with the non-small FLUNDEREEZE, like the big FLUNDEREEZE, and I think the generic cards, which just isn't really good. Yeah, it definitely could have been better, but yeah, this card could still see play in, I don't know, in freaking, oh my god, in what, Monarchs? I have no idea. Maybe. Yeah, maybe, but whatever. Probably not. Or, yeah, Monarch or Draco, but definitely not in FLUNDEREEZE, ironically. Anyways, Zombie World is a good card to out this deck, but not to play in this deck. And then Lose One Turn, Mask of Restrict, Macrocosmos, Anti-Spell, FLUNDEREEZE, and the Scary Seed. That's another card that I decided to cut. I really don't think it's good. And as a matter of fact, this card is useless against Drytron, because all of the Drytron effects are inherent, so you'll never really be able to negate the effect of an inherent summon, unless, of course, it's like the Xyz monster, or the Link monsters, etc. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for this FLUNDEREEZE deck profile. I really hope you guys were able to enjoy and learn a thing or two. If you did, make sure you smash the subscribe button, and the like button would really make me happy. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.